You followed all the rules. You studied hard, got the degree, landed the stable job, and now you have the mortgage for your dream home and a car that still has that new car smell. On paper, you've won. But why at the end of the month does it feel like you're running on a treadmill that never stops? Why is it that the more you earn, the more suffocated you feel? Careful, you're not just tired. You've fallen into the most sophisticated trap of the modern economy, a prison without bars, where the jailer is your own lifestyle and the sentence is working until you're 65 just to keep up appearances. In this video, I'm going to show you how this trap was designed to keep you exactly where you are. And more importantly, I'm going to reveal the breaking point that the banks and the system don't want you to discover. If you feel like you're thriving, but you're never getting rich, this video was made for you. Most people believe financial danger lives in poverty, but the truth is much more cruel. The most dangerous place to be is in the middle. Imagine two boats. The first one is sinking. The captain knows he needs to jump. The second is a luxury yacht. But there's a third boat. It's comfortable, it has great food, but it's caught in an invisible whirlpool. You don't feel like you're sinking, so you just keep rowing. That is the middle class. The first big mistake keeping you trapped is lifestyle inflation. Think with me. Do you remember your first paycheck? It was probably a fraction of what you earn today. Back then, you survived. Today, you earn 3-5 times more, and yet the money runs out by the 25th. What happened? The system convinced you that every pay raise should be celebrated with a new liability. Got a bonus? Upgrade the car. Got a promotion? Move to a more expensive neighborhood. You're trading your freedom for status symbols that depreciate by 20% the moment they leave the lot. And here's the open loop you need to understand. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you the exact calculation that proves how a 20% raise can actually make you poorer in the long run if you don't know what to do. But it's not just about spending. It's about the architecture of debt. The middle class is the fuel for the banking system. The rich invest the bank's money. The poor have no credit. The person sustaining those marble branches and record profits is you, with your 30-year mortgage. Have you ever stopped to look at the total effective cost of that dream home? By the end of 3 decades, you've paid for 3 houses, but you only live in one. You gave the other 2 as a gift to the bank's shareholders. This creates what economists call golden handcuffs. You have a high salary, yes, but it's completely tied up in obligations you took on just to look like you have a high salary. You can't quit. You can't take risks. You can't even afford to get sick for too long. You are a white-collar slave. Does that sound heavy? It's because it is. But why did no one warn you about this in school? Simple. Schools were designed during the Industrial Revolution to create employees, not owners. The system needs you to be productive enough to generate profit for the company and indebted enough to never leave your post. Now, pay close attention. There's a concept called the luxury rat race. Unlike the workers struggling for the basics, the middle class struggles for the superfluities that have become necessities. The bilingual school for the kids, the premium health plan, the latest iPhone. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with wanting the best. The mistake is financing the best with your future time. Every time you buy something in 12 installments, you are selling 12 months of your future life before you've even lived them. You're digging a hole and using the dirt to build a pedestal. The higher the pedestal, the deeper the hole. But now comes the part that hurts. The government loves the middle class. Do you know why? Because you are the group that pays the most taxes proportionally and receives the fewest benefits back. You're too rich for welfare and too poor for the tax avoidance maneuvers of billionaires. You are the state's cash cow. What if I told you there's a legal way to get out of that crosshair? I'll get to that in a moment, but first we need to talk about the Diderot effect. Denis Diderot was a French philosopher who lived in poverty until he received a luxurious scarlet robe. The robe was so beautiful that he started feeling that the rest of his furniture was old and ugly. He replaced his chair, then his desk, then his mirror. In the end, he was in debt just to match the robe. Your scarlet robe might be your new car. It doesn't just cost the monthly payment. It demands more expensive insurance, more expensive maintenance, premium fuel, and of course, now you feel you need to go to places that match the car. The middle-class trap is a chain reaction of logical decisions that lead to a disastrous result. Let's talk about fear, the fear of being average. The system uses your ego against you. It bombards you with ads of people who look happier because they have objects you don't have yet. This creates constant anxiety. You work harder to buy more to relieve the anxiety of working so hard. It's a negative feedback loop. The truth is, the middle class lives on a razor's edge. One divorce, one serious illness, or one unexpected layoff, and the entire house of cards collapses in 90 days. Why? Because the middle class doesn't have assets. They have the appearance of assets. A car is not an asset. Your primary residence is not an asset. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket without you having to work. If you stopped working today, how long would you survive maintaining the same lifestyle? If the answer is less than a year, you aren't rich. You're just a high-maintenance worker. So, how do you get out? The first step is the death of the ego. You must be willing to look poor to your neighbors while getting truly rich behind the scenes. Most of the people you see driving $100,000 cars have a net worth close to zero. Meanwhile, the real millionaire next door might be driving a 5-year-old SUV but has $5 million in real estate funds yielding dividends every month. Remember the breaking point I mentioned at the start? Here it is. Most people try to increase their income to cover their expenses. That is the fatal error. The secret is to keep your expenses frozen while your income rises. If you earn $10K and spend $9K, you are a slave. If you earn $20K and keep spending $9K, you just bought your freedom. The problem is your brain will scream, "I deserve this luxury. I work so hard." Yes, you do. But do you deserve the object more than the freedom to never have to wake up to an alarm clock again? The middle-class trap is psychological. It's a matter of perspective. The system wants you to focus on monthly cash flow, how much is left at the end of the month. The investor focuses on net worth, how much do I have working for me? If you want to escape, you need to start building your financial arc. Every dollar invested is a soldier working for you 24 hours a day. Eventually, the army of soldiers becomes so large that they can sustain your lifestyle without you ever needing to go to the front lines. The middle class is not a destination, it's a transit zone. The problem is that most people decide to set up camp in the middle of the bridge, fascinated by the view, without realizing the bridge is being dismantled behind them. Don't let comfort be your grave. Disarm the trap, downgrade the status, upgrade the assets, and break the cycle. The question remains, do you have the courage to take one step back in your lifestyle today to take 10 steps forward in your freedom tomorrow? If you've made it this far, you already know the answer. Now, the only thing separating you from freedom is execution. Time is ticking. The whirlpool keeps spinning. Are you going to keep rowing, or are you finally going to jump into the right boat?